What? No. I just had a tweet from Donald Trump show up in my timeline.
You sure you're...
Because some people I follow me, whatever it is, follow Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they get their daily dose of hate.
You sure you're on the right mic?
Ha! No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're a little more echoey than...
It is the wrong microphone. Here I was. Oh, jeez, I gotta unplug.
I mean, I can hear you,
replug.
but obviously.
Hilarious. I hate this.
Pull up the chat room.
I mentioned recently.
There we go. Now you sound better or something. Of course, there's my furnace right on cue.
Yeah. Yep. Well, my son will clod his way down the stairs and break something in the kitchen while we're doing this.
I will shut this thing off here in a minute.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Oh. It happened.
Oh, here's my hammer. Been looking for this.
Wow.
If you notice, I got the wires up out of the way on this side. There used to be networking. Now there's no more networking. You don't seem very happy about that, as I am.
Sorry, I've got 18 different things going down, including I believe it's to be a spam call. I'm going to screen it.
Why is that open? All right, you ready? Oh, where'd you go? I don't even know how you paused it.
What the hell was that?
What did you do?
I don't know. Oh, I wonder if it's because of the phone call thing.
Hmm. Yeah, it probably was.
Let me resume it. That looks like a spam call. All right, I'm just gonna not gonna put this in Do Not Disturb. We're just gonna. Also, apparently, Mark started playing some video game because my quality just fell off the cliff.
New year. Maybe a new decade, depending on what side of the coin you're on. Same people.
Same frickin' problems.
Yeah. You know, but it is now officially 2020. I don't know how I feel about this. It's just... Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's great about New Year's? The whole entire world, except I think maybe China, because they operate on a different calendar, basically celebrates not dying, right? It's like, hey, I'm alive.
Okay, yeah.
That's effectively what it is. And then your birthday, you get to celebrate that you didn't die. And so, yeah, a little morbid start for 2020. There you go.
I've always said that death can't be that horrible because it only happens to you once. And if it was terrible, it would happen to you over and over again. Right? Right?
I mean, you're
and you know,
technically...
people think that having a negative attitude is all bad. But, really, just seeing the sunny side of it.
Although, technically, death could happen to you multiple times. Let me throw a story.
Typically...
Let me throw a story. Most people, not vast majority. But anyways, there was I think it was in New York. This was recently. Go look it up. A guy was sentenced to life in prison, and he died. And then they resuscitated him and brought him back. And then he was arguing in the courts that hey, I served a life sentence.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think they ruled it down.
Yeah,
and
that's
still has to serve. But I mean, it's like technically, I think it's a little creative.
No, that's good. He's got a lot of time to kill.
Speaking of time to kill, it's CES is upon us, which is good at killing time. And Samsung
This
launched.
is where we learn who the true morons in our industry are,
Where you're going?
right?
Yeah, and second year in a row I haven't gone, and I'm.
Second year?
Yeah,
Has
I
it
didn't
only
go.
been two?
I didn't go last year.
I know, but are you sure it's not 3?
I don't know. Time flies when you're doing podcasts, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Whatever. You're right. We haven't been in a while.
Yeah.
I'm holding to a steady once a decade schedule. It's working out for me.
Well.
Plus, we're already going to Vegas this year. My God, why would you?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
why?
we'll be there in May.
It's-
Anyways, Samsung launched 2 new phones because they don't have enough light things going on, so they just.
Yeah, and a couple of weird things about these announcements. These are the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite. As their names suggest, they're less expensive, not lighter. Working on that one all morning. Anyway,
We're so happy you saved it for us.
yep. They curiously they have slightly different camera systems. Both of them are triple camera systems. Didn't announce the pricing. Also, these devices are being announced, sort of coincident to CES, which is a really weird time to announce a phone, especially if you're Samsung.
Yeah.
Of course, Samsung historically has announced the new S.
Oh, that's right. Like
Galaxy
Mobile
S9.
World Congress time frame.
Yeah, but not always at mobile. Like lately, they've been doing their own event, but still in
Yeah.
that rough time frame, February-ish. And so here we are, like 1 month before they will probably announce new flagships, and they're announcing something in the S10 lineup, which of course was announced last, I don't know if it's February or March, but
Yeah.
somewhere in that time frame. So it's kind of an interesting thing.
Tell you
Also,
what,
let me see if I can find this quote. I just completely screwed up my browser by turning off this dark mode thing, but I will bring it back. I found this quote from the president and CEO of Samsung to be somewhat strange. He said that the Galaxy S and Galaxy Note devices have met consumer wants and demands from around the world. Then why are you announcing less expensive ones?
Yeah.
Like if this has met the needs of, I don't.
Yeah, that's.
It literally, and it doesn't say. It literally doesn't say. It doesn't. This is like such a contorted. This might literally be English as a second language. This. It's just such a weird sentence. He says, the Galaxy S10 Lite and Note 10 Lite will introduce those distinct key premium features that make up a Galaxy S and Note experience at a lower price. He doesn't say. It's just. You're already delivering those key features. Now you're delivering them again.
Yeah. The only thing that I could think of, and this may not even be true, in regards to this, you'll see what I'm saying, is Samsung always shipped I think it was like an A version. They called like the A30 or something like that, which looked similar, but was always like a much less expensive version. I wonder if they're replacing that with these Lite. Now, if they come out and launch like the A40 or whatever they're up to now, then obviously that's wrong, but.
Well, there were also rumors that they were getting rid of the Note line, right? That they would just be all S11s next year or whatever. And here they are introducing another Note. So I don't know. Samsung, look, every company goes to market differently. I mean, the smartphone market has kind of unfurled a lot like the PC market did before it, where you have Apple the only one making Macs, and then a ton of companies making PCs based on Windows with a variety of brands and products, from really low cost to really expensive. Samsung is like that. They're like they have a ton of different products.
Yeah.
Apple has an iPhone. I mean, I know there are different models, but they're basically they're almost always fairly high end, semi-luxury devices. And Samsung has the whole, crazy gamut from a phone made out of straw, all the way up to the, just ecologically friendly. I don't know.
Anyways, other things that have been announced. I'm actually somewhat interested in this. Not that I'm going to go buy a new laptop, but the XPS 13 I've always liked. It's always been a good, really small form factor laptop, Ultrabook, I guess, whatever they call it. The new one looks like pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Yeah.
So the problem I would have with that, and it's kind of a weird deal as you get to these, what I think they call what do they call it? They have a name for those
Infinity
displays.
Edge or something?
Infinity Edge, something like that. Whatever it is. Samsung does the same thing. They have a name like that too. They start, the original value proposition of the XPS 13 I really liked. It was like, we're going to deliver a 13-inch display in a 12-inch form factor.
Yeah.
But they've actually, this time around, they're saying it's an 11-inch form factor. And by the way, not a 13.3-inch display, a 13.4-inch display. So they've actually made the display even bigger.
Yep.
And I think I would have a kind of a, it'd be one of those weird, with my gorilla hands, the little computer would be so
I
cute
could see
and
that
small.
being a
Like
problem
it
for
might
you.
be, that might be the one issue I'd have with it.
Yeah.
It's a little too small. Maybe.
Yep.
I haven't seen it,
But
yeah,
I think it's
nice
wow, a little drywall dust in the lungs there.
Sure, that's weird.
The one nice thing about this laptop though is you don't have to wait like months to get it. I think they said it's going to be available like next week or starting like middle of this month or something like that.
Yeah. Yes. At least some of a few of the new computers have been announced already. And yeah, at least one of them, it was probably the XPS 13. It's coming. I think you're right. I think it's next week.
So that's if you're looking for a new laptop, now's a good time. The one thing I am looking forward to, which I can't say for the past 25 years, my whatever, is I'm looking forward to seeing what TVs are announced. Because as you know, we're getting dangerously close to me going out and buying them because
Well, I'll tell you, the big innovation this year is probably going to be these like bezel-less displays. I get it. I mean, it is inevitable. There's nothing wrong with it per se, except how are you going to carry that thing? I realize you don't carry it around, but I mean, you have to set it up like it's going to have to. You're going to have to white glove the thing. It's like
I was gonna say is like I have no problem. Like I'm looking at these Vizios. I think and it's probably what I'm going to end up with because if you go to tvratings.com or whatever it is, this really well-known TV rating website, they said the best 4K non-OLED TV is the Vizio that I was going to buy. So that's what I want.
Nice.
But anyways, speaking of bezels, like I think this is fine. Like what this TV has, I don't.
It's more than fine. We watched that TV. I mean, we bought one for ourselves. That's our TV. Whether it's daytime or nighttime, in the dark or with lights on, whatever. No one has ever looked at that and said, look at those bezels.
Yeah.
They're just not there.
And I'm definitely not buying an 8K TV. I'm not buying an OLED TV. So what I'm kind of hoping is that like they come out with the Vizio 2020s or whatever, and then the 2019s they start slashing that price, and I will go out and happily.
Actually, sorry. What I was tediously moving toward when I started talking about this was the arrival of new bezel-less displays.
Yep.
Will probably help drive down the costs of those that have teeny bezels.
Yeah.
So it's all good news. Like you're probably not going to run out and buy one of these things. I'm sure the first ones are going to be super expensive anyway, but it will probably help drive the price down. Which, by the way, TV prices are already ludicrously low for what you're getting. It's nuts.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to buy we've said this. So 55-inch and a 65-inch, $1,500 is the budget, and like trying to see what I can get for that kind of money. I think that's
right.
Pretty healthy and should be fine.
I think, yeah.
So we will see.
That's my smallest fear of all the things that could go wrong in things in the house. Like the TV just dies. It just dies. Yeah. We'd be up and running that day with an awesome TV, And look, it would still be $600, $700, $100, but
it's a lot cheaper than it used to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I remember my wife and I had a couple of really deep discussions over the course of our marriage about certain purchases. And one of them was about a TV, and I think it was it must have been a plasma TV, and we bought it at Best Buy, and we bought it with some 3-year service plan because this thing was really expensive, and we were gonna make sure, whatever. Yeah. And the freaking thing lasts exactly 3 years, and then some stupid Panasonic only part went south like it always does apparently on these screens, and it's exactly what always happens. And then those things had burn-in problems and whatever. But it was like one of those. Anyway, we talked about it. We're like, okay, look, and like this is not quite a purchase where you just show up at home with a new TV and you're like, I bought a TV, but they're kind of cruising toward that area pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, especially if you go to Costco. I mean, you can go get as long as you don't care about like really dark blacks on your TV.
Yeah,
TVs are cheap. Like otherwise.
Should care a little bit about that, but you could come home from Costco with like a new 60-inch TV and like a 2-gallon jug of cheese balls, and you would have spent like $500
easy,
mostly on cheese balls.
You could do that at Best Buy. Maybe not the gallon-sized cheese balls, but I mean, like,
you're like, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah.
Like
you could just like people will spend more to go to like a professional sports game than you can, and it costs to buy these TVs anymore.
Yeah, yes. I mean, my wife bought me some concert tickets, which we had talked about before, just out in the world, talked about buying these tickets, and it was just too expensive. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
I'm not spending that much money on that kind of a thing, because concert. I don't care who it is. I don't care how much you love them,
Yep.
whoever, the band, and it's like a one night. It's like you get a recording of it to bring home.
Ooh, your audio just started getting scratchy.
Yeah, my son's probably upstairs. Sucking up the bandwidth.
Yeah, it's
Is it by himself? All right, well, I'll make everything happen to shut up.
This is record scratching Paul Thurrott over there in the.
You want me to reconnect?
Oh, we can't. I can't even hear anything you're saying now.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, there we go. Now you're back.
It just changed back to I think it was on a different microphone. Wow. Yeah, because you know what? Nothing I have is allowed to work properly, Brett. That's my that's. It's not Job. What's that guy who pushes the rock up to Sisyphus?
Yeah.
That's me. Except the rock I'm pushing has got a Microsoft logo on it, and it says eHome on the side, Windows Phone, Zune, Cortana.
Strapped to your ankles are bands, Microsoft bands.
Yes.
Those are your shackles.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Oh, fair warning on Monday, it'll be interesting because I think they're going to be sanding my drywall Monday.
Okay.
So that'll be nice and quiet, I'm sure. Although technically now the podcast studio is like a room. Like it's now granted my furnace. And,
you gotta start putting some pictures on the screen so we can see this.
This is not a pretty picture. This one
doesn't matter. I mean, like a before after thing.
Yeah. I've got all that. That when it gets done, which I should by the end of January, I should be able to do before and after easy.
I know, but you got a screen right behind you. You could be like, look, this is what we started with. This is where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever when it's finished.
It's almost there. Almost there. I mean, you've waited this long. Why not wait till the end?
No, I like to binge. I want.
You've made a good career out of it.
Yeah.
I think so. CES is kicking off next week. The one conference I'm probably going to watch live streamed is AMD to see if they talk anything about the Xbox.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they did last year.
PS5, right? Are they doing PS5?
Yep.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am, but I have didn't AMD do both the PS4 and the Xbox One?
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
I think so, right? And so that's kind of a weird situation where one of them has to be better. I mean, it has to be. They're not identical. They should be, by the way, but they aren't.
Yeah, actually, Gamer, I think it's Eurogamer. It's Richard Ledbetter, the guy who actually Microsoft went to with the Xbox One X and said, "Here, play with our processor."
Just like the Digital Foundry guy or whatever.
Yes, it's exactly who it is. And so he found or was shipped some benchmarks of like the PlayStation 5 or alleged that seemed to be plausible. And the guy's smart, and he reverse kind of like engineered what the processor was that could create that, and it comes out to the fact that the PlayStation 5 will be, based on this information, less powerful than the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
But the big question is that the
Xbox, you mean
Series X will be more expensive unless Microsoft is willing to subsidize it.
Yeah, somebody should write an article about why the more expensive Xbox One Series X is actually a good idea. Maybe I'll do that over. Oh, I see. What's up?
Search the web for it.
Did I talk to you, Siri? I don't know why you were talking back to me.
Siri has more misfires. I don't even use an iPhone, and I'll say things from the kitchen, and I'll hear my iPhone sitting in here on my desk. It'll say something like, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand that." And then I'll say, "Shut up, Siri," and she goes, "You don't have to be mean about it," or whatever. Some little catty, passive aggressive. I get the last word in kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah, just gotta nudge it. Just nudge it, just a little bit.
Yeah, if you were my real assistant, I would have fired you a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I don't use I don't use any of these things.
No.
In any meaningful way that I couldn't just chuck it out the front door and not be missing things in my life.
So I haven't done this, and I think I guess I probably won't. But we have, through some strange set of circumstances, not because Paul ever got in the family car and drove over to Best Buy and spent a couple $100 on this, but we have like We have two Google Home speakers in the kitchen, which are now in a stereo pair, which is why they're both there. We have two of the mini versions out in the living room, also in a stereo pair. It's almost just to do the stereo pair, right? It's just for music, right? I very infrequently does anyone ever utter the words, "Hey, gee, could you," whatever the thing is, tell me the weather, tell me a joke, read the news, blah, 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 whatever it is. Very, very infrequent. Like, I've thought to myself, I should just turn the microphone off on all of these things.
Yeah.
Because actually we have two smart displays. We got the little smart alarm clock thing. We have invited into our home, let me do the math here, 7 secretive recording devices. You know?
Yeah.
Right? Just sitting there listening.
How many smartphones you got up and running too?
Oh my God. I mean, I can see here 5.
Yeah.
You know, my wife and kids all have phones. Yeah. Right. Actually, that's a good point, because if you really want to talk to somebody, I mean, you know, a digital assistant, you could see, you're going to be with your phone anyway. It will answer you.
Yeah.
You know. In
Well,
fact,
the
one of
other
weird
point
things
too
about,
was that, I mean, if you're like truly worried about microphones being on, your phones are way worse, because it's a microphone, it's your location, and it's 2 cameras. Well, I guess even more than that. One could have like 5 cameras in it at this point.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. Yeah, and then I think anyone listening to this who has multiple speakers like this will have experienced this thing where you will ask the assistant some question, and you can see it on your phone, or you can hear the little tone on the speaker next to you.
Yep.
Indicating that it is listening. And then you will hear the voice come from another room in the house, because somehow in some configuration somewhere, something in my kitchen in this case is like the primary device. So if I'm in my house and I ask a question, it goes over there, even though I'm here. I don't understand this. I think I'm going to turn the microphone off on all these things. This is stupid.
Yeah. New year, new microphones or something. I don't know.
It's probably just a switch that doesn't do anything. It just connects to a little chip that tells you the microphone's off. That's its entire job.
Turns on
It's
a little
disconnected
LED
from everything else. You know.
That's when they actually really start recording, is when you turn it off. He's like,
exactly.
"Oh, what does this jerk not want us to hear?"
So,
That's how they get you.
24/7 surveillance. Find out what they're up to. He's plotting a move to DuckDuckGo. Edition red.
Start sending him targeted email.
Yeah.
And then it becomes physical mail. Then the FedEx guy just shows up, and Sundar just jumps out and punches you in the face.
You just reminded me of, so last every New Year's Eve we have a thing. We do like a fondue thing. We have friends that come from Boston now. They used to just come over our house. It's a little more tedious for them to get here now. Now that we're in Pennsylvania, my sister and my brother-in-law come over with the kids and everything. And last year, because my brother-in-law had too much to drink, he had his wife, my sister, drove home, and she backed down our driveway, which is an enormous hill, and drove over my lawn.
Fantastic. Sounds like my
wife. It is so dark. It's not really her fault, but you know me well enough, and by extension, my family well enough to know that we have ridden her for this all year long.
Of course.
So when they were one of the things, I don't know if you do this where you live, but you probably don't, because you have sidewalks. We don't have sidewalks here. So what people do is they get these orange poles and they stick them out on the edge of the property.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, you've seen those things. So we collected all of our orange poles, and we put them at 2-foot intervals going up the driveway. So it looked like a landing pad for like an airline, or like an airline landing strip or whatever. So they came over. My sister was like, "Did you put those poles up because I drove?" And I was like, "Yeah." But then I just literally, what made me, you said something about FedEx, UPS, whatever, and when I drove home today from the gym, I was like, I got to bring those things in, because a UPS guy or a FedEx guy is going to like see this and be like, "I'm not even going up this driveway." It's like literally like, it's like a tunnel of orange sticks.
I just imagine that, like, you see someone come in the driveway, you yell to your kids like, "It's your turn, Kelly," and then she has to go out there and just like,
I did that when they left. Actually, I went out with a flashlight, and I actually did do that.
It's perfect.
Yeah. No, it's just one of those, we're just making memories.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. So, 2020 starting off with a bang. I think next week should be relatively normal, minus my Monday.
Well, I mean, there'll be CES news, presumably.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we'll be back to podcasting and should be.
Oh, I think we should ease into it. Like we
Yeah.
did two this week. Like maybe next week we do like 3. You know, by March we'll be on like a normal schedule.
Yeah. It's been nice to be off. I just
It
kind of.
really has. It's been too nice. This is a huge problem.
Yeah. Well, I like, you just lose track of the day, especially with Christmas and
Yeah.
New Year's being on both Wednesdays. Real convenient there.
Every year, dude, somebody says to me, I'll go on these home swap things, and they're like, "Oh, you should just go on vacation. You should take the time off." And it's like, you don't understand. Like let's say I took a week off or 2 weeks. God help me, 2 weeks off. 2 weeks. I would never recover from 2 weeks off. To get me back onto like the normal schedule would take 3 or 4 more weeks. Like it would. I just can't do that.
Yeah.
And like that kind of happened to me over this break. Like I did a little bit every day, but there really wasn't much to do. And I mean, Windows Weekly was off for 2 weeks. What the Tech has been off for 2 weeks. This has been off, well, not quite 2 weeks, but we did a couple here and there.
Yeah, but I mean,
The full week, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Next week, because I'm going to have to do everything, like, again,
Yeah,
which is
it's
just
like,
normal, but I'm just not used to it, you know.
No, I'm the same way. I think it's be a wake up call for everybody. The great thing is my kid doesn't go back to school until Tuesday because why not? So it's
So that's actually, that makes, I don't know why Tuesday, but my daughter went back to school yesterday.
whoa.
And I was like, why? Just take those 2 days. Like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but whatever.
So, anyways, we will be back on Monday, everybody. And everybody who tuned in to the live show, thanks for tuning in. We'll be recording Monday, although I make no promises because it might be kind of loud at my place. We'll see what happens with all the sanding, the dusting, and I'm actually waiting on an air purifier to show up at my door. And we'll catch all of you later.
Should attach that thing to a CPAP and just use it for the next 2 weeks. Recover.
So this was, I had this like $100 like Visa gift card for whatever, and I knew this dusting was coming up, and Wirecutter, like, this was like the perfect impulse buy. Wirecutter tweeted out, it's like, our favorite air purifiers of 2019. I was like, done. That is what I'm buying, because we're gonna need one. We have one down here already, but I'm kind of at the point now that once this project's done, I'm just taking that thing outside and just hoofing it into the trash, because it's gone through what possibly asbestos, now all of the drywall. I'm not bringing that thing upstairs. So, yeah.
I tell you, I called the town. That town will now collect dangerous electronics like screens and stuff like that.
Wow.
So this is something they never did before. So I've had this, for some reason, I have this growing collection of stuff. And so she was like, she was, yeah, all right. She's like, well, what do you have? I'm like, I actually have several items. And she's like, really? She's like what? So I'm like, I got this gaming screen that was smashed that, I was going to bring to Boston that time. I had this other display that's broken. I have like what's an all-in-one computer. Remember, that smashed that screen with the door. Like my son brought his laptop back from college. The screen smashed. I've got this. What's the other thing down there? Anyway, it worked out to 5 things. And she's like, "You've been really just sitting on these things, waiting for us to do this." I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." She's like, "Okay." Oh, the other one was the DirecTV stuff that was left here from before. So it was like I just have this crazy collection of stuff, and she's like, "All right, we'll be able to pick that up on." I think she said February 4th or 5th, and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah." She goes, "We have really big demand for this." I'm like, "Okay, well,
Wow.
all
Well,
right."
that's nice, though. My trash man is very angry at me because we've been throwing away a lot of things, including just sheets.
Yeah, because you did that whole clean thing.
Well, just drywall. Like, right, we have like tons of scraps of drywall, and each week we fill up a couple trash cans, drag it out there, and the guy.
Do you put it in bags at least? Or you just put it like.
So it works out well. We have cans, like garbage cans or whatever, and you can stuff it in there.
These guys have to actually go out there and lift them.
No.
Yeah, it's a machine or whatever.
Except for today, he knocked it over.
Oh, hopefully it was pouring.
It is raining. So he
You
was.
got like glue in the street,
He was not happy. But the machine, like the garbage truck in an ideal scenario, which for one of the can or 2 of the cans it worked. They comes out with a claw and grabs it and just throws it in the truck, so they don't even get out. But on the 3rd can, he was off and he hit the side of it and it just tipped over. And that's.
I happened to drive in behind the guy and witness them doing this for the first time the other day. I guess it was this week, I guess. But I'd never seen it before. I sort of always assumed they brought it up over the back of the truck and kind of just chucked it behind it. But there's actually like a little thing in the front. So it really only goes off the ground 5 feet or something. But he did it expertly. You know, he moved in, kind of did the whole thing. Then there's like a little thing that comes out from the side of the truck that just kicks the can over, you know, for that little personal touch, like it was a real person. They just throw it on the ground, you know.
So you'll appreciate this, then we can just shut it down. So I told you we bought my father-in-law a Sonos Beam, right, for Christmas because he's been helping me out a lot. And he called me up and he goes, "Yeah, I bought a sub." I'm like, welcome.
Wow.
You're in. Like you're gonna be like, break out the checkbook.
Now it begins. Every month he's like, I got a Sonos.
Yep, and he's like, I was already thinking. He's like, I got 3 bedrooms. I could put a speaker in each. I'm like, yep.
Oh boy.
It's like it's the gift that keeps.
Well, thanks for dragging him down the rabbit hole with you.
Yep,
Jeez.
I was just trying to spend some of his.
Trying to say
dollars.
thank you, not put you in debt. Sorry, jeez. That's funny.
So, all right, catch you later.
All right,
Bye.
bye.